This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Thank you so much and welcome to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We are bringing you life-changing business information. We want to empower you, we want to energize you, we want to inspire you, and we want to enthuse you, as you know. Today I have a financial advisor, a wealth management expert by the name of Goabaone Chingapane, and I'm sure you're going to love her. When we were prepping for the show, I could see that she'll be dropping nuggets galore. But a little bit of housekeeping. The book is here, Nuggets of Grit. It's only $3.99. But if you mention that you saw it here and you mention which podcast you watched it in, we'll give you a 10% discount. Go from $3.99 to $3.60. But otherwise, the retail price is $3.99. Please get the book. We talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about real estate. We talk about my journey through the thick and thin of entrepreneurship, my ongoing journey. So you're going to love it. So another thing, please, before we get into the podcast, strike that subscribe button, strike that like button, and also the notification bell. You know how much these algorithms make us suffer, guys. Right now, as I tell you, I find out it's only 1/3 of you roughly that have subscribed, but the other 66% or so just watch us regularly but without subscribing. So please subscribe. It helps us a lot, believe me. It makes a huge difference. Welcome to the show, Goabaone.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Please start off by introducing yourself and sharing a little bit of your academic background, your CV, a little bit.
Okay. As you've mentioned, my name is Goabaone Chingapane. I am the founder and the chief financial advisor for Goabaone Wealth Solutions. I hold a bachelor's degree in commerce, specializing in risk management. I've got certification in data science and machine learning, wealth management, and also I have a certificate of proficiency. I guess that's academics. That's it. Yeah.
You call yourself a wealth. You provide wealth solutions.
Yes.
What is the qualification you got in that regard?
Luckily, what I've learned that in business, you need people, right? Yes, I had the vision of, seeing that Botswana people don't have that education. And luckily, I had partnered with a few people who have that in our team. We have a certified financial planner, we have a chartered financial analyst, and we've got a lawyer in our team. So I drive the team. I take that. My knowledge of risk is the one that made me to get to know. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me about the business of Goabaone. I have to say it correctly.
Please.
Wealth management.
Yes.
Wealth
solutions. Yes. Well, can I explain how it started?
Yes, please.
Okay. Growing up, I'm so fortunate to have a mother who had worked in the banking industry, and I also had I have a father who was in the formal sector, then left to be in the informal sector. So my mom, growing up, she had taught us, you know what, you need to know the language of money. And I would say my other superpower is observing. I love to observe, and God just gives me different revelations as I observe. Wow. Yes. So growing up, my mom had always been intentional in using her money. Would go to the shops and she would say no, and once I grew up, I realized that that's budgeting, right? And she was she was an avid investor. She believed in investing stocks. She believed in investing in unit trusts and not just saving in a bank. But if you're saving, let it be for short term. So I remember there was a time when she had bought shares. They were like 10 tebe back in she was like, no, just buy. And then she just put 1,000, 2,000 or something. She put a lot of money back then in the 90s. And then in 2008 or 2010, that company was sold to another company, and then the shareholding became 27 pula. And in the moment, we're like, we don't have money. Now we have a lot of money. 27 pula per share. She had bought it at 10 tebe per share. Yes.
So she made a huge
she did. And it was a time when she was transitioning in her life, and it was like God giving her that money. She taught us that. And she was a parent that didn't believe in just giving us. You had to work. You had to work.
Kudos to Chingapane.
Mandos, I'm married now. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Mandos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kudos to her. She
Shout
did
out,
a great
Mom.
job. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out. Yeah.
So she never believed in just giving us money. You had to work for it. You had to wash cars. You had to water the garden. And when you're washing, she didn't let us just to wash. You had to wash for a purpose. And if you just washed, you would have to wash again, And she would ask you, why are you washing? No, you told me to wash. Go back and wash. Why are you washing? No, for the car to be clean. Why are you watering? Because why are you watering? For the plants to have food, to grow.
So there has to be a purpose behind what you do.
There has to be a purpose behind what you have to do, and that's what you taught us, and that's what growing up I've always done, that I have to be intentional with everything that I do. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I walking this? Why am I buying this? What is the intention behind it? It's called the effects of why. You need to ask the why 8 times.
You get to the truth when you get to the 7th or 8th why.
The 8th why, yes. So she taught us that, and even like I said, I would observe, some things were not said, but I could see that, okay. And over the years, I got to see that as much as you work, take care of your health, because she worked hard and her health took a knock, And like I said, my dad,
she didn't play, she just worked.
She didn't play, she just worked. And even now she's still working. She has a poultry business.
It's possible that some people take their work as their vocation as well.
Yeah.
So their vacation is their vocation. Their play is their work.
Is their work? Yeah. Yes, I think it's that's for the And then I had my dad. My dad, like I said, he was in the formal sector, but to get taxis and combis. And I remember one day my dad was wearing a suit. I saw it the first time, I saw it the second time, and I'm like, Papa, but what taxi man? Like, why are you wearing a suit? And he's like, it's my job, So it's also being intentional, and it's also being presentable. And now from combis to having buses, So it even though we're talking about Hwabondo Wealth Solutions, I have a business called Adoro Suits, where it's all about making suits, people looking presentable.
Is this suit from the
Yes, I wear my brand.
It yourself?
I design it, and I've got tailors who work for it, who do it, who make it.
I guess maybe we can just pivot a little bit, talk about the clothing business.
Okay.
What attracted you to it?
Okay.
And how is it doing?
The clothing business, I realized that my niche is suit making. I didn't want to go make other things because like I said, my dad will always look presentable. So I'd go to shops and not find a perfect suit for me, for my body, the one that I liked, the way it was designed. And I found a good tailor in Francistown. We worked together, and people started saying, wow, we love your suits. Why don't you start making suits? So I'll talk about where I used to work. So where I used to work, it's one of the forces. And they're like, do you know that
the suits business was your side hustle?
It was my side hustle. It was my side. And also my mom taught us that she had side hustles. Yeah, so it was my side hustle because the salary wasn't enough. It was getting...
Where were you working?
I was working in Minet, Aeon, then changed to Minet. Yes. So it wasn't enough, so I had to substitute it. And the first big deal that I got was a lot of money, and I lost a lot of money from it, and it didn't make me to fall down. I learned.
What went wrong?
Sir, business. They say that the first thing that you do, you must always look like a fool and make mistakes.
Yeah.
So that was it. I went out there, I sold myself, I can make suits. I got an order for like 150 people. Mind you, yes, I do know the type of material that I want, but I then subcontract other people. Because of the size of the order. Because of the size of the order. And mind you, every tailor does things differently, right? So my tailor measures differently and another tailor measures differently. That means if my tailor does the measurements and gives another person, there's going to be error. And there was error, a big one. So from that 120, I think 20 fitted, and then the others were disasters.
They could not be adjusted.
They could not be adjusted. We tried to adjust them, but they could not be adjusted. And
you had to reimburse people.
Pardon?
You had to reimburse the people.
No, sir. You keep on. You keep on. I found.
What I mean is, you had to pay people back.
No, I didn't pay them back.
Oh, okay.
I found some funding, and I did the job correctly.
Oh, I see.
Because I have to deliver.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you just broke even.
Did I even break even? I lost.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes,
but the important thing was to keep your promise.
Yes, to keep my promise. And do you know what? For the next 3 years, they kept on giving it to me.
Wow.
Yes.
And did you eventually make money?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Then the wealth solutions. Yes. Did it spring out of the suit business?
It didn't. Yes, it came. My first job, I worked at a mine. So when I was
you worked at a
mine.
Yes.
At a mine. So, like I said, I'm a very observant person. So there was this lady who was a cleaner. She had lived next to where we were staying. Yeah, I knew her house. I knew she was our neighbor. So while we were there, I was in one of the offices, and she was in an altercation with the MD. Yes, and the MD was owing her money. And I asked myself, that's an error. That's an error, a big error, a big one. In a sense of, how does somebody who gets maybe 100 or 200,000 per month or whatever
end up
owing a lady who's earning 2,000,
3,000, yeah.
2,000, 3,000. And he was driving a Range Rover. She didn't have a Range Rover. So I wondered, like, how.
I'm still wondering what went wrong.
No, he had borrowed money from her.
That's what I mean. What made her? What pushed him to that position?
Exactly.
Financial mismanagement.
Yes.
It can only be that.
It can only be that. And even when his contract was being terminated, he asked for extend because he literally said that I haven't built my house. And he had been there for 6 years or more. And then I went to work at Minet. Then I was an administrator for a fund. That's where Huabando came.
Can I venture to suggest that he must have had a hectic lifestyle outside work?
He did.
Probably the issue of wine, women, and song.
Yeah, no, he did, and lifestyle, and the lifestyle, the Range Rovers, they're good, but
there was no backup plan.
There was no backup plan.
There was no system.
Yes. So I then
hope she paid that cleaner. I hope he paid.
I hope so too.
And then when you left, you went to Minet.
When I left, I went to Minet. But before that, I stayed some time without working. So I started I would say it was my second business of ice pop making. So I did ice pops. I would do them to sell, and people loved them. And then I had to supply. Mind you, I was buying from a lady. And every time I would go and buy, I would always look and what kind of machine she has, what are the ingredients that she used, and she would gatekeep.
She would what?
Gatekeep. Gatekeeping meaning that she wouldn't divulge or to tell her secrets, right? But I was looking, and by God's grace, I managed to buy my own machine, made my own ice pops.
Locally here?
Locally and it was a manual machine. It wasn't an automated one because I couldn't afford the automated one, right? I would make them, I would then supply. Now I wasn't selling. I was selling and supplying. So the money that I would sell with was the money that I would buy the ingredients with. And with that, my mom would tell me every day you should go and deposit. And I would go to a bank, my bank that time, and deposit 2 pula, 20 pula, 30 pula. And the lady was like, why are you depositing? I'm like, it starts here. It starts small. It starts small.
That's what your mom told you.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me. And even
Never
when
despise the strength of small beginnings.
Oh yes,
the power of small beginnings.
Yes. So it grew. It grew to a point where I had to venture outside. But you're young, and bagolo ba ntse ba re o ka pasa yana o dirile risky o bo rekisa di ice pop, the outside noises. So I ventured out to look for a job.
Because you're under pressure.
Because I was under pressure,
Instead of growing your business.
Yes. So I left the entrepreneurship journey and I went into the formal sector. I mean, the working. I became an employee. So as I went to be an employee, even the little money that I would get, I'll just live within my means, And then when I got to Minet and they had to manage a fund, that's where I saw, hey, Botswana, there's a problem. There is a problem. It's not about the salaries. It's not about that, sir.
What is it about?
It's about the mindset. It's about the habits. It's about where you are emotionally at that time.
What did you notice in those funds?
I noticed a lot. I noticed it's not that there's a lack of money, it's a lack of knowledge, and a lack of knowledge from the beginning. And I always say that it's very
failure to apply the knowledge for those who know it.
Failure to apply for those who know it. For those who know it. Because in financial literacy, we say that you have to have the knowledge and the skills, right, to make financially informed decisions. But you find that there are a lot of people who have the skills. But don't have the knowledge. You are budgeting. Why are you budgeting? No. There are people who have the knowledge. I have to budget. I have to use the zero-based budget method, but they don't have the skills. So it's an imbalance. So I found that but there's the lack of knowledge of, but like you're saying, I believe it's also the lack of application of that knowledge. Yes. So I saw that, and in my mind I had thought that, okay, maybe it's because they were saying they were not getting a lot of money, the people that I was administering the fund. And I know a lot of people are gonna get which fund I was running. And then these people had what was called like a salary upscale. It was like a touch forward. If you're in scale 1, you'd go to scale 3.
You jump.
I think you'd jump. And so within 3 months, they were back.
Same
situation. The person was earning 6,000, but through that jump, they would earn 12. And within 6 months or 3 months, it's like nothing happened.
Same car, same lifestyle, same investments.
And even more. So that's when I left there. It was the moment. And then I got promoted. I worked in a pension fund. Now I thought that when I deal with Mogobe's pension funds, I'll see a mindset change there. I'll see a difference. But it was the same. It was the same. It was painful to see people retiring poor. It was painful to see, and the fund that I managed was a very big fund. It's one of the biggest funds in Botswana because it included the BCL people. And I saw the importance of estate planning. I saw the importance of having a will, because we'd do interviews and you'll find, the stories, the family saying this, the wife saying that, the other kids, there's other that, and this pension is the livelihood that this person has left for his family, his wife and kids, only to find that there are others,
who just emerged from the woodwork,
who only the family knew. It showed me the importance of a will, importance of estate planning as a whole, and just planning for retirement as early as possible. So that's how then when I left that, and I said, you
have to do something.
I have to do something. I have to do something. Yes.
So what would you say are the main pillars or the main driving forces for the company? For
Goabaone. Okay. First, we act with integrity. That is one thing that I do not compromise.
Act with integrity.
Act with integrity. Act with integrity. And I would say that it's very rare, sir. I believe you can also attest to that. I don't know, but integrity is
it's a powerful thing.
It's a powerful thing, and it's a rare thing around, and also it's a client-based company. The client comes first. We might advise you this way, but we hear what is your goals, what do you want to achieve, what's your definition of money, what's your definition of wealth. That's when would build towards that. And also innovation. We try to be innovative. Yes, we try, because we're moving in the fourth industrial revolution, where everything is at the tip of our fingers, at the tip of, yes. So but I would say integrity will be the main thing. It's the main thing. It's the main thing.
All right, what did you say are the major setbacks or challenges of the business?
Mindsets of people concerning money. Would maybe go for presentations, and you'd find that in a room of 50 or 20, only 2 or 3 get it, and then the others are just happy that they didn't go to work.
For that day.
For that day or for that training, it's the mindset of people. But over the years, we've come up with not a strategy, but it's an approach, because we thought before it's all about budgeting, have a plan, Mogobe save, and we saw that people are not following that. Then we did research, and we saw that it's the mindset. Most households,
it's a taboo subject.
It's a taboo subject.
Unlike your home,
yes.
The home you grew up in.
Yes, it was pasele, Tabo tsa mo tsa pasele ko go ma semangmang. A lot of people were raised that way, and if you did talk about money, mama nthekela sapa, thekela stako. It was like a touchy subject. Excuse me. And after that, you go to school, you go to university, you start working. And then now, your environment, your friends. And if you don't choose good friends, you're doomed, because the foundation was never there. So then we realized that there are 3 types of mindsets. There's the poverty one, the scarcity one, that some people, and we've realized that scarcity people, or people who have scarcity mindset, are afraid to take chances. They're afraid to take risks. They're risk averse, right? And ke batho gape ba rata makgarakgatsha. The hoarders. The hoarders. There are people who, even if an opportunity is there, they come up with 100 reasons why it's not an opportunity. And when it passes, they're like, hey,
If only.
if only.
And then the second category?
It is the abundance mindset.
They are
Abundance. Everything is of abundance. It's a very good mindset. But they tend to have pride. Because
With pride?
it comes
Or
with pride.
Can come with pride.
It can come with pride. It can come with pride. Yes. Because you know that whatever you try to do, it comes to pass. Right? Then tomorrow when somebody comes and advises you, you're like, no,
You've got it covered.
I've got it covered. So it's not my first time. And mind you, we forget that we are learners. Every day we are learners. You know, we are learners. I might know about finance, about wealth, but there's somebody who knows better. Either the person is younger or either the person is older. There's somebody who knows more than you know.
So it's scarcity, it's abundance, and then?
Growth mindset. And that's where there are very few people who are there. A growth mindset is a humble mindset. It's a mindset that listens, but listens with caution. It's a mindset that even if I made a mistake, where did I make? What wrong did I make? Not what did the government, this program, this. You know, it's a growth mindset. It's ever growing. It's ever learning. It's ever. So we came up with those three mindsets, and when a person talks, you can see.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Within a short space of time.
You can tell. Yes. And then usually we tell clients to come with their statements. And when they come with them, we already know this one is here, this one is there, this one is there, this one is there. So the challenge, sir, it's just that the mindset of people. People have relied on companies to teach them about money. People have
They have abdicated their responsibility.
They have, you know, they don't take that decision of saying, okay, this is my journey in life. Life is one of the longest jobs you'll ever have. Life.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, and what can I do with my life? Like, what are the opportunities that are here? What are the gains and the odds, you know, of
So what is your solution for these three categories? Do you prescribe different solutions for each?
We do. But when we onboard a client, they go through training, or should we say just teaching them about the basics, like
over a period of
just a week or two. It's just the basics of what is financial literacy, the different types of mindsets, so that they can see where they fall, the money game, money flow, the money habits, you know.
I've been offering mentorship courses now for 4 years or more.
Yes.
And there's something called an epiphany. I've seen it in a lot of my mentees. When they realize how wrong they've been and how neglectful they've been, they almost have a catharsis.
Yeah.
Have you found that?
Yeah, I have. And it's always because as we say it day to day, right? But to them, they're like, you know, once they start applying those strategies, they're like, Ma, I could save this month. Is it even possible? Like, you know, after paying my bills, I had peace. You know, I didn't know it was possible. You know, and we do have those things. We do have. To us, it's simple. To them, it's like you've given them a superpower.
That week is enough to change somebody around.
It's not. It's just teaching, sir. Like I said, it's just.
And once you've done that, you then onboard them to become your clients.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we've talked about challenges and setbacks. Let's touch accomplishments. What has this wealth solution company done? What is it? What is it proud of in terms of accomplishments, successes, and achievements?
Yes. One is that we've partnered with one of the asset managers, African Alliance. Yes, African Alliance. It came when I didn't know it would come, you know, but it has helped us to, and the reason why we onboarded them, we didn't just take the partnership because it's a business. You know, we looked at their portfolio, we looked at their returns, and they're the first asset manager in Botswana, right? And we saw that products are very good. It's achievable. You know, you just save.
It's mainly unit trust.
They're unit trusts. They're also other products, other advanced products, because we don't only look at unit trusts. We don't look at only individual clients at Hwabando. We also have institutional clients. We have clients who invest in their pensions, their SACCOs, and all those things through African Alliance, right? Yes. And then we've also partnered with an insurance company, Botswana Life, Affluent. We chose Affluent because it had the fiduciary services, you know, that we felt we saw. What does
that mean?
Your wills, your wills, your estate liquidity covers, and all those things.
Trusts and so on.
And trusts, but trusts are, I think they're about to be launched. But yes, so I joined Affluent also in terms of, since I've got clients who come and, you know, they would show us the type of policies that they had, and you'd hear how they were explained by an agent. You know, it would differ, you know. So we onboarded so that, you know, we can give clients the right products for them.
Some of the agents did not have the kind of training you had, unfortunately.
They did.
I'm asking, they didn't have.
They did.
Oh, so why did they advise wrongly?
It will depend on which mindset do they have.
Yeah. Each of those three categories.
Maybe scarcity.
They
would have scarcity. Some people do their jobs because they want money. Some people do their jobs because it's a purpose driven.
It's a calling.
So for us, it's a calling. Yes, we are in there to make money, but I believe money is all around.
What do you tell an average client that you want to onboard and then pass on to African Alliance? Share a little bit of what you tell them in terms of what they can gain, what they can benefit.
Okay. First, obviously, the client would go through training. Then we would go to data collection and sit down and, you know, do their plan and everything and all those things. So a client that would take them to African Alliance is a client that would want to invest, right? Would have taught them the difference between saving and investing. When we say you are investing, we're saying that if you invest 1 pula, you're going to get that 1 pula back and more. That's investing. The minimum that you get, that 1 pula like that and more. You know, it wouldn't be less.
The rest saving
in a bank, right? It means that bank says, you know, there are charges, right? That is why you save for a short period of time. But technology has moved, you know. Before, we would know that if you invest in these asset managers, it will take weeks, it will take months, you know, for them to disinvest and all those things. But now, if you are disinvesting in one of the unit trusts like money market, it's just within 2 days, right? So we'll just see, okay, this client doesn't have an emergency fund. And that's one thing I caution Botswana, please, let's have emergency funds. COVID has shown us that things can change.
On that point, if say you earn 10,000 pula.
Yes.
And this is before you get into any obligations, is there a system by which you advised clients to divide that 10,000 pula?
Yes.
If so, can you share with us?
Okay. So a client, like I said, it's all about the client, sir, right? So would listen to what are your achievements, what you want to achieve and all that. But a client who earns 10,000, is he paying rent? Yes or no, right? Maybe that rent would be 3,000. It should be less, 1.5, because they don't have any obligation. You know, a 1 room is okay for them.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't need a two beds.
1.5.
So 1.5. Then the food, they'll take out the wants, you know, the food and all that. But necessities, yes. And then would advise that at least, because he's starting out, for the next 2 years, let he save 40% of his savings. 40.
Oh yeah. That's a very good aggressive mark.
Yes.
And that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Normally encourage people to target 30%, but
I
40% is even better.
40 is better. You know why, sir? What is the most expensive commodity? It's time. Time. Warren Buffett, for him to be the billionaire that he is, yes, he's a good investor and all that, but he harnessed time. He started investing when he was 10 years old.
11.
11.
Same.
Yeah, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Right? By the time he was 30, he was already a millionaire. So time, and that's what we try to instill to people. And I should have said that's one of our core values, time. The time dimension. Harnessing the time dimension, right? If you start investing young, you're going to retire young, or you're going to retire having that amount that you'd have. I don't want to say rich because...
Well, this 40% you're setting aside,
Yes.
what do you do with it? Where do you put it?
We put it in a unit trust. We put it in there are 3 types of unit trusts. There is the money market or liquidity fund, which is traded cash, bonds. It's traded daily. It's a lower risk because money is traded daily. It's a low risk, but it earns a return of around 7-8% per annum, depending on how the markets went.
That's impressive.
Yes. And then we have the Prudential Fund. Let me go to the equity fund before I go to the Prudential so that I explain the Prudential properly. Then there's the equity fund that invests in shares, stock markets. Stocks are doing well right now. You know,
They've recovered.
They've
They were
recovered.
stagnant for about 5 years.
You know,
because I'm an investor in stocks.
Yes. And then we have the Prudential. That is like the middleman. It's a medium kind of risk portfolio that invests in both. Then the equity is a high risk. Yes. But you just need a minimum of 200 pula per month or a once of 200
So how do you
pula.
divide between these 3 categories?
It will depend on what the goal of the client is. What is the risk tolerance? What is the risk appetite? You know, and if somebody is that young, would split it 50-50 between would also look. We don't just invest, we also look. You'd soon invest in Prudential, but maybe Prudential is not doing well. But money market, you won't go wrong with it. You invest in money market, maybe if it's 40, maybe 30, and equity 10. But because we're always looking, would always advise the client that, hey, let's jump this side a little bit. So it depends on the risk appetite of a client and what their goal is. Are they investing for the long term? What are they investing for? You know, that's the most important thing. What are you don't just invest. What are you investing for? Yes.
I've come across fund managers such as Warren Buffett. I think there's a guy who died, whose name starts with a G. Is it Goabaone or something? Yeah. They advise that people are better off doing their own direct investing because fund managers typically take a huge chunk of their profit.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I think for the US, yes. Here in Botswana, I think they just take, how much is it, 1% or 2% as handling fee. But 2% can be a lot if you've got 100 million or...
It compounds, doesn't it?
It compounds, yeah. It compounds, yeah. It can be. I think in Botswana we haven't. For stocks, you can do it by yourself, right? But you need to understand the importance of unit trust. Unit trust, you are combined, and you're going to share the profits, right? But when you are only one, you'd need more equity to invest in that. But it's still okay. It's still. I started buying shares with just 100 pula, you know, and then over time, when you get that bonus, you build your portfolio, when you get your allowances, you do that. So you can do both. I believe in both.
I'll ask you a question that I asked Mr. Nzinge once when he was on this show.
Yes.
If you have, 500,000, you've just been paid for a tender, you don't need the money immediately, you want to invest, maybe you can afford not to touch that money for 5 years. How would you allocate that, and how would you treat that, assuming that the person has a growth mindset?
It's a growth mindset. The person or me?
Your client.
My client. Okay. It will depend. It will depend on what they have in their portfolio, right? It will really depend. If maybe you said for 5 years.
For 5 years, they don't need the money
for 5 years. It will depend. It will depend on their portfolio, really. In terms of
growth, isn't that category?
Pardon?
He just wants growth.
He just wants growth.
He's growth
I
minded.
would take it to a unit trust. I would take it to a unit trust and maybe take 2,000 or 1,000 to buy stocks. Or I would
2,000 out of 500,000.
Oh, it's 500,000. Oh, 200,000. No, 200,000 to buy stocks. To buy stocks, because stocks are doing well, but you need to be to be cautious of them. And a lot of Botswana don't know what stocks are and how they work and the importance of it. For example, when I bought I think it's my Lerumo shares, I had bought them at 60 tebe. 60 tebe. I think that was when I started working, 2016, 2015. I think now it's going for 1 pula something, if I'm not, So imagine if I had bought a lot and Gatoka Maidi and I sell, that's a capital gain, So people don't know that the reason why we keep on saying stocks is not to make a CEO rich. It's not about that. It's investing also in the company. You can see, okay, let's say, and I know Mogobe is soon getting there, and we see that, okay, let's invest in this. The property that he has, where he's situated himself, there's growth. I don't think I would lose. And then after 5 years, when there's that increase of the shares, you sell, you get into something else. Or the person can invest in...
So you tend to split... 60% for unit trusts and 40% for stocks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or maybe 50 for stocks and maybe 10, depending if the person has a side hustle. Maybe invest in that business.
Well, he has everything. He doesn't need the money for 5 years. But he wants maximum.
But growth. He wants maximum. I would take it to unit trust and...
Okay. I was talking about some successes and accomplishments.
Yes.
Are you able to share with us some of the clients whom you did good work for?
Yes.
And who really benefited without mentioning their specific names?
Yes.
Give us an idea of your track record.
Currently, we're doing some work with a union, one of the unions. What we've seen is that a lot of unions, a lot of funds are coming up with innovative ways of how their clients can save, their clients can invest, the clients can use they can use debt to build wealth. But we saw that there's no link of teaching them. I'm teaching you, I'm saying you can go to a bank and get a loan. Within 2 days it will be out. For somebody who has the money, like, okay, let me go get a loan. People have this, what is it called, when they go with the crowd, when they go with the masses. Yes, sir. Yeah, so we've realized they had hired us to do some talks for them, and then we came up with a proposal with this union to say, okay, let us be the middle person who links all these services, and considering that they had a new product coming out, so we are the middle people. When one of the members is getting into a certain part of their lives, they get that training. When we look in our portfolio and say, okay, this person maybe is married, they get that that teaching, the importance of debt, the importance of having a life cover. So we come we work with them, and I think that is because it's one of the biggest unions.
And you're very proud of that.
And I'm very proud. I'm very
happy with the results.
They are. We recently did it this year. This year.
What's your attitude toward my favorite class? My favorite investment class, property. Do you ever delve into it? Do you ever advise people to dabble into it? I do. My husband is an architect, so he's the one who teaches me a lot.
And like I said, I don't know if I did say it, there's somebody who knows better than you. You know, I know Kumo is one of the people who really opened my eyes. Kumo Nawa, the one room money managers.
Yes.
She's one person that we lies and we talk to on a regular, and she teaches me the importance of property. You know how she's loves.
She's very animated about it. She's very excited.
She's very excited about it. You know, property is I think now, because you know, so you are going out there, you have this podcast, people are learning a lot. People used to just get into property because you know,
and then they throw themselves into the deep end without any information.
And I remember in one of the podcasts that you had, matchmakers, is it? Yeah, he was saying that you can go a year breaking even or making a loss in property, you know. But property is one of those assets that I believe if you can afford it.
Yeah.
Every Motswana should. Yes.
A lot of our viewers are entrepreneurs. Some are aspiring, some are accomplished. We have a lot of SMMEs and just a lot of across the board.
Yes.
How do you help them as companies or as founders to change their wealth story and to create intergenerational wealth?
Yes. Hey, entrepreneurs are very special people and they're very close to my heart, you know. Because one thing that we need to establish, Mogobe, is why? Why are you getting into entrepreneurship? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why?
The 7 whys, eh?
7 whys.
Deep, 7 to 8 whys.
And that's the question that I believe we need to ask. Institutions are into numbers, but the numbers are made by people. Why are you starting this business? Why?
Most people start it either as a lifestyle, you know, business, or they are looking for financial independence.
But does that last? Does that last?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
But does that it does in some extent? If why you're doing that. But if you're doing it because of lifestyle, it never ends well. It has never ended well with anyone. You know, it has never benefited. I've never seen it. It benefits you there, but in the long run, it's not sustainable. Because a business is like it's a person. It's a person, and if you don't have the right systems, the right foundation, and the right systems and the right people. So I usually ask people why. Why are you getting into this journey? Is it to provide a service, a meaning, a purposeful service, or a purposeful product, or is it for lifestyle? Okay, if it's for lifestyle, hey, I get boni ditiro, business, it's gonna be hard, because entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. It has a lot of ups and downs, more downs than ups, and it takes time.
Yeah,
it takes time, you know. So we tend to sit down with them, and you can see others are genuinely getting into it to change their lives, to change how they're living, and it usually works for them. I don't know how, but it kind of does. I don't know if I'm contradicting myself, but it
I think not. I think you're not.
But it usually works out, because during that journey, I've always said that when you start a business, don't think that is the only business that you're going to do. You're going to meet people who are going to show you what you're passionate about. You know, Mogobe, I think you started as a lawyer. Now you're into property. You know, because through that journey, maybe you had clients that inspired you. You saw that they had something that you are familiar to, that your spirit is connecting you to them. You know, if I say it, Christian, and you became intrigued in this, and you saw that once you took that first step, it you know, you could do it.
You along.
You know, it and then it built, and you saw that, wow, Wow. I can do.
Up,
Yeah. So that's what we try to do. Understand why they're doing it, and then teach them the basics. We are all about teaching you the basics of budgeting, the importance of budgeting, which is bookkeeping, the importance of insurance. A lot of Botswana don't insure. They say, I get that dual 20 years, that in 5 years, Nagana and Gigitula. Obo Tula Range Rover, Mogobe.
Then you're finished.
And then you're finished. And, and we teach them the difference. We dive deep in the different types of life insurance. Term, whole life, the importance of that.
I want to ask you, just because we are very practical in this program.
Okay.
Can you share some before and after stories of some of your clients without disclosing identities?
Yes.
So we understand. So and so came, this was his financial health. We worked with them for this long. Now their financial health is like that.
Okay. We had a where I was the administrator. Yes. So when that jumped happened, by that time we were starting out, right? He just came to us and said, Gee, I'm left with literally 15 years to retire. 15 years to retire. And this is where I am. Okay? And I've got my kids. In the next 2-3 years, they're going to go to university. But I believe I haven't put my ducks in order. So we sat down with him, we sat with the wife. It's all in our first consultation is the client talking, just taking down notes. It's a therapy session. Taking down notes, and then they bring the bank statements and stuff like that, because I have a background of risk. The numbers never lie. The numbers, where you swipe,
Amen. Yeah.
The numbers never lie. So we sit down and we go page your 3 months or 6 months bank statement, line by line, and we categorize them. Is that saving? Is this? Then we sit down. We come up. We sit down with you, and then we tell the client, "What? Okay, la swipe athad, and la swipe akwalekwa. Why? Why is that? Tell us why you're doing this. Why are you buying electricity? Ha-5 mokhedi or habedi? Why can't you just buy it once?" And people don't realize it's the small things. It's the small things that lead to the foxes,
like the Bible says.
Yes, that lead to the big things. It's not the big things that make you slip. It's the little things that lead to the big. So we sat down, and we did a plan for them. So their finances were not that bad, but since he was left with 15 years, we had agreed that when he's left with 10 years, they're going to buy themselves a new car. We're going to call it a retirement car. Brand new car, Dada, not Amen, the other ones. Yes.
From Mogoditan.
I didn't want to say it.
No, but you can say it.
Yes, from Mogoditan.
They dominate the streets.
They do. We sat down and said, okay, what property can they buy? His take home was around 16 by the time we onboarded him, because he had other loans that they could not account for. But so luckily they had property in Francistown by the blocks. Then that's when I got to learn the one rooms, calculating your return on investments. And why
the one rooms? Real estate.
Yes. Then I said
Matroko. Yeah.
Matroko, because that's what they could afford by that time. I think it costed them around 90. It was just the one room. They didn't have showers, and it was just basically
showers outside.
Yes, showers were outside, so it didn't cost a lot. So now the gentleman is retired. He's driving his GD6. The wife has retired. They don't have kids, and they're getting their money from the property. They had also had unit trusts. Yes,
which you advised them
I advised them to, but it was for them to spoil themselves. I'm always, you need to spoil yourself.
with an investment.
Because the nice thing about unit trust is
It's
not
part of that 40%,
it's part of that 40%. The nice thing about unit trust is not the same as savings. You can save and it's on your phone, but investing, hey,
It's not easily accessible.
It's not easily accessible.
And
So
maybe you even have an automatic stop order, right?
yes. So that's one that I'm really proud of, because it's not easy for a grown-up couple to
Do they
come
just
to.
come to you and,
Yeah, they
and worship
did.
the ground you walk on?
No, they don't.
No,
do
I mean,
they?
they thank you.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And when he retired, he called me. It's like, G, I'm retiring, and you know what? I'm getting my pension. I'm about to get my pension. I'm about to get this money for SACCOs. What can I do with it? I said, go to Cape Town. Spoil yourself, you and your wife.
Just for a week, not for a month.
Not for a month. Just go and enjoy that money, because you haven't enjoyed it.
Not all of it.
Not all of it, sir. Not all of it.
Yeah,
And I don't know if they went or
you
they
obviously had to budget for.
They had to budget for it. Yes. So that's one of them, and just a few of our my age mates, or a few of our.
But how do you convince the average Motswana who may be watching you to get into the culture of saving and investment? Here we're talking about mindset change, which the government is always talking about.
Yes.
How do we climb inside their brains and just get that little thing twitch to adjust a little bit in the mind?
The people we surround ourselves with. Yeah. I've realized that the voices
people we do what?
surround ourselves with, but they really determine how we use our money. The voices we hear, the habits that we have, really determine where we are going to go in life. It says, show me 5 of your friends and I'll tell you show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Show me who you acquaint yourself with and I'll show you who you are. You can have an abundance mindset, you can have a growth mindset, but if you have 3-4 friends or 3-4 relatives that are always pulling you down,
and you spend too much time with them,
right? And the other thing, be conscious of time. I don't know how we can do that, but
how do you cut them off? I suppose you can call them energy vampires. How do we cut them off?
Realize
when you
why
love them.
Realize why they're in your life. What benefit are they giving you? As I know, the calculation of return of investment, right? ROI.
Yes.
You have to apply it in your life also.
But in general terms, how does it work?
Well, you need to calculate the capital that you're going to put in a project, right? You need to also put the cost, the money that you put in, minus the cost that you're going to incur in your project. Costs being maybe your insurance cost or whatever, all those things.
Them,
yes, then you minus that, then you put it in a percentage, right? What cost are these friends coming with? What capital are you putting in their lives first? It has to start with you. Yes, I was about to forget that. It starts with you, right? Sometimes
you just feel sorry for them and you give them money when they are producing close to nothing. It's called black tax.
That one you need.
Do you have some advice on that?
That one you have to tie the liver. That one is a very. I tend to when I have clients, we tend to have an altercation to that, because ka Setswana ke sentse ke thokomele mme, ke sentse ke thokomela bana ba ko gae, ke sentse ke not me per se, but I need to take care of my family, the extended, right? But my issue is this: you are taking care of them, who's going to take care of your kids? If you concentrate looking at the back, your front is going to suffer, or your future. That means you're creating a cycle that kamoso bana ba gago ba to go berekela. Would you want that? No, you wouldn't want that. So you can come up with strategies.
Unless they work for your companies and unless they independently work for your companies.
Hiring relatives, say, that one is contradictory.
A lot of people do it. I'm one of them. As long as they are productive.
As long as they're productive. As long as
long as you throw the book at them if you have to.
Yes. As long as they know they're not here to work I'm not here to work. It's not my brother's company. I'm here to work. Okay. For black tax, there are strategies that you can come up with. You know, they can work in your company and all that. You know, you can invest in them having their own streams of income, so that when you are focusing on your future and your kids, you know that one is settled. That's what I usually advise, that settle, you know, and put molao. This is a business. You know, if the yard is big, matrok, you know, and then say me kilidiret matroko kya. Hey, once in a while okay, no la tell, right? Yes. And the return on investment was, say, mindset change, right? Why are those people there? What am I contributing to them? Is it what they're bringing back? Is it worthy for me to live by or to use in my life, right? If not, cut it off. It's hard to cut friends, but the benefit of it
far outweighs the loss.
It's just like saving and investing. It's hard to transfer. You know,
tomorrow they'll need your help, and you're a better place to help them.
Yes.
In the future.
Yes. So I believe it's that, and changing your habits.
Yeah.
Be cautious of your habits. Be cautious of your thoughts.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. Be cautious of your emotional state, because some people tend to spend more because of their emotions. You know. Yes.
Now, let me ask you whether it is in fact having traction, this chain. For instance, the government has been talking about it for 2 years. When you're in the trenches out there, do you see any noticeable change, however small?
Yeah, no, there are changes. They are changes that are there. People are beginning to wake up, you know, to know that life is not just this, you know. Yeah, there's more to life, you know. We're in the internet era, you know, people are beginning to realize, okay, I can go and, you know, go to school. There's there are courses that can be done that can change my livelihood. There are initiatives that the government is bringing that people are really harnessing. You know, there are some clients when I go to them and yes, I've applied for Chema. You know, I want to my baking business, I want to fix it, I want to do that, and with the proceeds I want to invest. So people are really realizing that yeah.
All right, let me ask you about branding and marketing. Perhaps you can talk about your company first.
Yes.
And then touch on how you advise an entrepreneur to approach the issue
of branding
and marketing.
Well, we've recently seen that content creation is the way. It's the way.
It's imperative.
It is. So we're not trying. We've already started to take out posts, you know, to go out there, being on LinkedIn, being on all these social medias. And one of my mentors, when we were talking about it, I was like, I'm scared to take out my face. She's like, no, just start, you know.
And you did start.
And I did start. I did start with TikTok. It was scary, but it was
How
scary.
Often do you post?
I used to post. It's been a while. I'll post like once every 2 weeks. Once.
You have to do it more often.
I have to. No, but that's the thing. Once you're in business, you learn that you have to put systems in place to know that you can't do everything. You know. So that's what I was telling somebody, that as I've come to Mogobe, I would say it's my birthing date.
Thank you for that comment.
Pardon? It's my birthing
Thank you for
date because I need to chema
Yeah.
behind, you
Yeah.
know. So branding is very important because people are always on their phones, and people don't listen to radio much. You know, they don't watch TV much, but people are always on their phones. So it's very, very important that businesses, you know, if you can't do it, hire somebody who can do it. They're not expensive. I don't think they are that. They're not that expensive for now.
But they're worth it.
And they're worth it because the money that you're putting in, you're gonna get 3 times or 7 times more what you're gonna go out, because you have followership and you have clients who then turn from followers to clients. Yes.
What's the outlook the next couple of decades for you as a brand,
Yes.
for the clothing company,
Yes.
and also for, you know, the money management company, which you call
Wabando.
which you call the solutions, the wealth solutions
The World
company.
Solutions. Well, we want to offer our own products, tailor-made, you know, but that one would need a lot of to comply or not to comply, to be regulated, right?
By NBFIRA.
By NBFIRA, yes. We want to be an investment.
Difficult.
It's not difficult. It's just it's not difficult. It's just that we're building our processes, and I believe we're getting there, you know, and building the right team. Yes, the right team. So we're getting there. We want to be NBFIRA licensed to be an investment advisory.
Are you not already?
We are just financial advisors.
What's the difference?
Meaning that we
You advise on finances, but you don't advise on investments.
we do advise on investments, but we don't. What can I say? We don't. We're like the.
You're not fund managers. You
We're
don't hold
not
money.
Yes, we don't hold money.
Is that what you want to be able to
Yes, we do, but that one is a process on its own.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a process on its own, because I believe Botswana, there is a lot of potential. And especially when it comes to asset management, when you go to South Africa, when you go to Kenya, oh my goodness.
Are you benchmarking from those people?
Yes, especially Kenya. Especially Kenya.
Well, here's your chance to share some of your heroes and sheroes. Can you mention some of them? Give them a shout out.
A shout out. Mr. Sean Rasebote
At Alliance.
African Alliance.
He's still there.
He's still there. You know, he's one person who doesn't look at results but looks at the passion of a person. So hello, Sean. I would also even outside,
Yes.
Vusi Tembakwayo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's
on point.
He is on point. He knows what he's talking about. And all authors of all books that we have read, you know, even you, sir. Shout out to you.
Oh, man,
You are doing a good job, sir. These nuggets, God has called you for a time like this.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
He
you.
has called you for a time. Not only are you giving us nuggets, you are also inspiring us. You're also pushing us. You're also, like I said, time. When you invest in me, what took you 30 years can take me 10 years or even less. And that is shout out to you.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. So in 20 years, we're going to have a fund management company. And are we going to have offices scattered all over Southern Africa?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good. I'm going to hold you to that.
Please hold me to that. I need an accountability
and then after
partner.
2-3 years, I want you to update the viewers how far you're doing.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Don't forget.
Yes,
Even
sir.
within 1 year, if you experience significant growth.
Amen. Yes.
Now, this is the time when you get to hit me with a question.
Okay. They say Warren Buffett has a skill and a secret, right? His skill is investing. His secret is time. What is your skill and what is your secret?
Okay, the thing about secrets is that they are not secrets at all, because they are well known.
Yes.
And none of what I can say is going to be a surprise.
Yes.
I find that ultimately those two words, discipline and consistency,
Yeah.
in everything you want to do. So I've been fortunate enough to inherit that gene, wherever I inherited it from, and to have the blessings of providence through my faith to encourage me to be consistent. I was of two minds this morning whether to come or not, because I had a headache setting on. But I said, no. I have a date with these people.
Yes.
And, conducting an interview through a headache,
Yes.
a little cough,
Yes.
it's much better than disappointing people or failing or not turning up. Sometimes I jokingly say to my mentees, because I offer mentorship classes on real estate, soon to now go into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I say to them, guys, if you want to learn from me, the only acceptable excuse for not turning up to a class is if you've been run over by a truck. That's it. Everything else is excusitis, which is a disease of giving excuses, or victimitis, which is a disease of calling yourself a victim or letting your circumstances victimize you. So there's no secret. That's the important thing. Then in terms of what was the other part of the question? The skill.
Yes.
I love real estate. I love teaching. I love speaking and sharing.
Wow.
So if I can do my businesses and surround myself with people who are similarly inclined and get a chance to do these things, speaking, concluding deals, and interacting with people, I love it, like I'm doing now. So it's almost like you get paid for doing something that you are prepared to do for free. So that, I guess, would be the skill.
The skill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because having been in the legal profession and then having studied speaking, because I went formally to study how to speak.
Wow.
And then having taught myself how to podcast. And then, of course, doing deals and talking to my mentees and my employees non-stop and trying to teach, and also for them to teach me, because it's a two-way process.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mentor them, they mentor me too. So that would be the answer to your question.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Well, thank you for sharing your secret.
Right. Now, as we conclude, you look at that camera there.
Okay.
And you leave the viewer with one parting, powerful message as we say goodbye.
Wow. Well, I think your parting words took everything, being consistent. It's very important to be consistent with everything that you do, because when consistency is like a snowball. It starts small, but once it builds, it becomes a natural thing. So let us be consistent and be intentional with our lives. That's all I'd say. Yes.
That's absolutely correct.
Yes.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
Now, do you want to share all your, platforms, contacts, even your physical addresses?
Okay. Social media, we are Huabando Wealth Solutions. Our offices are in Francistown, soon to be in Gaps. Yes. And you can get us on info@huabando.com. info@huabando.com. You can get us on the cell number 72915326.
Is that also a WhatsApp?
Yes, it's also a WhatsApp.
Did you mention the exact location in Francistown?
It's opposite Tapama.
Okay.
Opposite
And
Tapama.
there's a big sign saying?
When was the last time you came to Francistown?
It's been about 6 months to a year.
Yeah. No, just the offices next to Spurs.
Oh, okay.
When you try to say it, people don't get it.
Yeah.
But offices that are opposite Tapama, just next to Spurs.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, dear viewer, dear listener, you heard her. She opened up and told you all, so you have no reason to succeed, and I would urge you to get in touch with her. But another shameless plug, Momp Nuggets of Grit. We're selling the book for $3.99, but if you mention that you caught it in this Goabaone's podcast, we'll give you 10% discount. So hurry while stocks last. Get in touch with us on 397-1368. And then in addition to that, let me ask you again, I'm not just asking, I'm pleading. Strike the notification bell, hit the like button, and most importantly, subscribe. The subscribe button. We need you guys. We need you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. God bless.
Thank you.